Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And an early how do you do right there, as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. When you look at this defense, they enter play here, number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. But how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. From the gun on 3rd down. Swartz. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game, to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Throwing to start the drive. McLaughlin. Incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That went out wide and intercepted. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Remember last time out, they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change, when all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Second and 15. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Riley.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
3rd down and 1. Looking to throw. Schwartz working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And this is going to be intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Elks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And they get 14 yards there at a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. 0 hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw. Swartz. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Off the play fake. Schwartz. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. Now you look at this defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run here with a rookie. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And they've got it just 2 yards away from the end zone. They'll have it 1st and goal here from the 2-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
Davis. Touchdown. No, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point up and through, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after one. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27. Nifty move. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Swartz. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
They'll try and run for it. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. He'll take this to the 46.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Off the RPO, he completes it. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 4th down. And this one is right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Operating from the gun, McLaughlin. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
From the gun on 3rd down, McLaughlin looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one is...
And this is caught at the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Condors are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Smith, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. McLaughlin in trouble, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A 1st down carry for Davis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw. Schwartz. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up fourth down. And this one is right through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive. McLaughlin. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McLaughlin. And this is caught at the 20. And they do finally get him at the 12. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw here's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll keep. And he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So potentially a turning point here in the third quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines, tackle him, second guy in, tackle the ball.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. McLaughlin. That's complete to Smith. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Oh, and that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Back to throw. McLaughlin escaping the pressure right. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Smith. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Ordinarily, 3rd down is a passing down, but how about that explosive run right there? And when you get a run like that, that means everything came together. Offensive linemen, they didn't just get to the first guys. They got to the 2nd level to help downfield. And I've always said, any run over 7 yards means the wide receivers have done an excellent job blocking downfield.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool him a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Again, it's Smith. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. And this is going to be intercepted. So a big chance goes by the wayside there. A tough break on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, as a general rule, you know you're usually not going to win games with field goals. But in this case, they had 3 points in their pocket. I get what he was trying to do, but that's a big swing of momentum right there.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Operating from the gun, Swartz. It's complete to Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Davis, he'll try to run for it. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken it around the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, McLaughlin. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Back to throw. McLaughlin. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now 2nd and 3. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now they'll audible to something else. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And, oh, he takes a shot at the end of that play. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Smith. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Smith is into the end zone. Touchdown. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Schwartz dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Partner, I know that ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Swartz. And this is going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
A first down carry for Smith. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Smith trying to run for it. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year.
And the Elks have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, the pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play action game. Or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Throw left side complete. That's Richards. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now 2nd and 4.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Schwartz.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Hands it off out of the gun.
Dancing away at the 30. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
Here's 1st down.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, 6th overall. And the Condors are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Now he's loose again.
And he takes it all the way down to the 22. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
They'll run it again with Smith.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Smith up the middle. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And his kick here is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
This is 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
That was an